Are you tired of financial myths keeping you up at night? Discover the hidden truths that could transform your financial future starting today. Did you know that over 70% of middle-class households in the UK may follow at least one harmful financial myth? In today's video, we're busting the 10 most common myths that could be draining your wallet. Discover the easy ways to turn things around and use these myths to your advantage. What if I told you that mastering your finances could be as simple as making your morning coffee? Intrigued? Stay tuned to learn how. A common but rarely discussed behavior is avoidance. Many people avoid budgeting, not just because they fear it will be overwhelming, but also because they dread discovering the reality of their spending habits. This avoidance creates a cycle of anxiety and financial insecurity. In Australia, 50% of people say they feel anxious about their financial situation daily. This anxiety affects daily productivity and overall well-being. Meanwhile, in Canada, a significant number of adults admit to avoiding budget conversations altogether, missing out on opportunities to improve their financial health. Meet Jane, a young professional who always felt a knot in her stomach when checking her bank balance. After finally sitting down to create a simple budget, she discovered she was spending $200 a month on coffee alone. By making her coffee at home, she not only saved money, but also felt more in control of her finances, gaining a sense of empowerment and peace of mind. As financial guru Dave Ramsey once said, "A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went."
That's where you're going to give every one of your dollars a name before the month begins. You're going to tell your money what to do instead of wondering where it went for the first time in your life.
This sentiment is echoed by financial psychologist Dr. Brad Klontz, who explains, "The myth of budgeting being complex stems from deep-seated money scripts we inherit from our families and society. By understanding these psychological barriers, we can begin to deal with them and take control of our financial destiny." Start by categorizing your expenses into needs and wants. Use digital envelope systems like Cube Money and Good Budget. It's simple. Set up digital categories for your expenses within a digital envelope, or use apps like Credit Karma, another Intuit-owned platform, or YNAB to automate the process. Set small, achievable goals, such as saving $50 a month on dining out, to build your confidence. Gradually increase your savings as you become more comfortable with budgeting. If you are interested in learning more, The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey provides a step-by-step plan for financial fitness, and Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin offers a holistic approach to transforming your relationship with money. Both books offer valuable insights and practical steps to help you take control of your finances. If you've had success with budgeting or have tips to share, leave a comment below. Let's help each other achieve financial freedom. Meet my friend, Sarah, who thought buying a house was the smartest move. She was thrilled at first, decorating and settling in. But then, she got a dream job in another city. Selling her house quickly became a financial nightmare, with hidden fees, delays, and stress. But if she had been renting, she could have moved effortlessly and financially intact. When you buy a home, you're not just paying the mortgage. You're also responsible for repairs, property taxes, and often higher utility bills. These hidden costs can add up. And let's not forget opportunity cost, the money tied up in your home that could grow in the stock market instead. Historically, the S&P 500 has averaged about 10% annually over the past 30 years, compared to real estate's 3 to 4%. So, while homeownership has its perks, financial reality is often more complex than it seems. Ready to hear the kicker? Stick around, because the most surprising revelation is coming up soon. According to financial expert Suze Orman, your home is not an investment. It's a place to live. Not everyone needs to buy a home for financial freedom.
A home, but not everybody has to buy a home to have financial freedom. Don't forget that. If right now you have a rent payment of $1,000 a month, so you're looking to buy a house where a mortgage payment is $1,000 a month, you have to be very careful, because when you buy a home, you have property taxes, you have insurance, and you have maintenance, and all those things will cost you 40% more usually than your mortgage payment.
An economist adds, renting can often be a smarter financial move in today's economy. These aren't just opinions. These are insights from seasoned professionals. So, how can you make the most of renting? Here are some steps. Invest the money you save. Open a brokerage account and invest in low-cost index funds. Here's how you can start. Check out the top 5 brokerage firms in your country. Decide on the type of brokerage account. Is it full-service brokerage account, discount brokerage account, online self-directed accounts, robo-advisor? Consider the following factors while selecting a brokerage firm: trading costs, customer service, tools and resources, regulatory compliance, and reputation. Go to their website or download the app. Complete the application form, verify your identity, fund your account, and start trading or investing. Additional tips: understand the charges and risks, check for SIPC membership, Securities Investor Protection Corporation, and monitor your account. Tip number 2, choose your location wisely. Pick a place with good job opportunities and quality of life. Use sites like Glassdoor and Numbeo to research. Tip number 3, build your credit. Use this time to improve your credit score for future financial flexibility. Still think renting is wasting money? The real kicker is coming up. You won't believe how much renters can save and grow their wealth. Sarah's story isn't unique. Meet Jane and Tom, who chose to rent and used the money they saved to start a business. Now they have financial freedom and flexibility. Or consider Mark, who invested his savings in the stock market and saw impressive returns. Renting provided them opportunities that owning a home couldn't. Have you experienced financial stress from home ownership? Please leave a comment below. We want to hear your stories and insights. Sarah thought she was buying a ticket to financial freedom, but it turned out to be a one-way trip to Stressville. Trust me, you don't want to visit. We've seen the stress, the costs, and the missed opportunities. But is renting really better? Hold on, because the ultimate revelation is just around the corner. So, is renting throwing money away? The truth is, it's often one of the smartest financial decisions you can make, offering flexibility, reduced stress, and better investment opportunities. Imagine investing the difference in housing costs over 30 years. Those savings can grow exponentially. Renting isn't just a temporary solution. It can be a strategic financial move. According to experts, owning a home isn't always better than renting, and renting is not always as simple as it seems. Remember, the best financial decision is the one that fits your life and goals. Don't let outdated myths dictate your choices. What do you think about renting versus buying? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember to check out the recommended books: Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko for more financial wisdom. Here, we're diving into a topic that affects many households: shopping in bulk. Is it the best strategy? But before we get into the details, let's meet the Johnson family, who thought they had it all figured out. Stay tuned to uncover an unexpected twist. They love shopping at their local warehouse club, convinced that buying in bulk saves them money. But after a few months, their pantry is overflowing, and they're throwing out more food than ever. Sound familiar? Let's explore why this happens. Does this resonate with you? The Johnsons aren't alone. In the UK, households discard about 9.5 million tons of edible food each year, according to WRAP. In the US, the average household wastes about $1,300 worth of food annually, much of it from bulk purchases, as reported by the USDA. Why does this happen? One reason is overestimating our consumption. We think we'll use that giant jar of mayonnaise before it expires, but life happens, plans change, and food gets forgotten. Ever bought something in bulk only to realize you didn't need that much? Another issue is the psychological impact of buying in bulk. The sunk cost fallacy makes us feel we must use something because we spent money on it, leading to stress and guilt. Behavioral economist Dan Ariely explains, "We often overvalue the things we own, which can lead to poor decision-making. This means we might keep buying in bulk, thinking we're saving money, while accumulating stuff we don't need. Proper storage is crucial. Let's look at two scenarios. In the first, food is stored in airtight containers, labeled with purchase and expiration dates. In the second, food is left in its original packaging, leading to faster spoilage and waste. Which method do you think saves more money in the long run? Here are practical tips to make bulk buying work for you. Assess your consumption. Track what you actually use and how quickly you go through it. Buy smart. Only buy in bulk what you know you'll use, and that has a long shelf life. Plan meals. Avoid impulse buys by creating a meal plan. Proper storage. Use airtight containers and label everything with purchase and expiration dates. If you are interested in learning more about the psychology behind our buying habits, I recommend Predictably Irrational by Dan Ariely. It's a fascinating read that delves into why we make our decisions. Imagine holding a tool that can either build your wealth or throw you into debt, all based on how you use it. Credit cards, a symbol of convenience and controversy. Today, we're debunking the myths and uncovering the hidden truths about credit cards. Let's start with a surprising fact. In the United States, 82% of adults own at least one credit card. And in the UK, 68% of adults do the same. But how did we get to the point where credit cards are seen as the enemy? Credit cards were introduced in the 1950s for convenience. Did you know the first credit card issued by Diners Club in 1950 was intended for restaurant bills only? Today, they're essential for many, but they've also gained a bad reputation. Here's where it gets intriguing. The idea that credit cards are inherently bad isn't about the cards, but about how people use them. This brings us to impulsive spending. Impulsive spending on non-essentials significantly impacts financial health. Studies show that people are more likely to make impulsive purchases with a credit card. Have you ever made an impulsive purchase you regretted? Share your story in the comments. Oh, let me share a story. My friend Sarah loved online shopping. With a few clicks, she bought things she didn't need. New clothes, gadgets, you name it. It gave her a temporary thrill. But soon, the bills piled up. She felt overwhelmed, anxious, and trapped by her debt. It wasn't the credit card's fault, but how she used it. One day, Sarah realized she needed to change. She started tracking her spending, setting budgets, and prioritizing her needs over wants. It wasn't easy, but over time, she paid off her debt and regained control over her finances. As Dave Ramsey says, you must gain control over your money, or the lack of it will forever control you. Credit cards, when used responsibly, can be beneficial. They build credit history, offer rewards, and provide protection. The key is responsible use. Using my credit card wisely helped me build a strong credit history and earn rewards. It's all about balance and discipline. Exactly. So how can we turn this around? Here's a practical solution. Practice mindful spending. Before buying, ask yourself, is it a need or a want? Can it wait? Is there a more affordable alternative? Think about your last credit card purchase. Was it a need or a want? Download our free budgeting template from the link below to start managing your finances today. So, are credit cards always bad? No, it's not the card, but how you use it. Credit cards aren't the enemy. Mismanagement is take control, make informed choices, and turn that plastic into a tool for your financial success. By managing spending habits, we can leverage credit cards to our advantage. Financial freedom starts with informed choices. What if I told you that debt could be the key to your financial freedom? Sounds crazy, right? Stay tuned and discover later in this video how debt, when used wisely, can be your greatest financial ally. For centuries, debt has been seen as a financial bogeyman. From Dickensian tales of debtors' prisons to modern bankruptcy stories, it's no wonder debt carries such a heavy stigma. But is this perception entirely accurate? Let's dive in and find out. Debt, in essence, is neither inherently good nor bad. It's a tool. Like any tool, its value depends on how it's used. How many of you have used a credit card to manage an unexpected expense? Or taken out a student loan to invest in your education? These are forms of debt that, when managed wisely, can significantly improve your financial situation. Here are some surprising statistics. In the United States, 83% of households carry some form of debt, yet only 34% report feeling burdened by it. In the UK, individuals with higher education debt have a higher net worth later in life compared to those without education debt. These statistics show that not all debt leads to financial ruin. When used strategically, debt can be a stepping stone to greater financial success. Financial experts agree on the importance of distinguishing between good and bad debt. According to financial advisor Suze Orman, debt used to finance your future, like education, a home, or business, is often beneficial. But debt for consumption, like credit card debt when not managed well, is typically detrimental. Understanding the difference between good and bad debt can be the key to unlocking financial success. It's about making debt work for you, not against you. So, how can you use debt wisely and avoid the pitfalls? Here are some practical tips. Understand your income and expenses. This will help you see where you can cut back and avoid unnecessary debt. Use margin investing, which allows you to borrow funds to invest in stocks, giving you an opportunity for potential higher returns. Use leveraged investing. For example, you can triple the market's daily gains with ProShares Ultra Pro S and P500 UPRO, a 3x leveraged ETF. Prioritize high-interest debt. Pay off credit card balances and other high-interest loans first to save money in the long run. Invest in your future. Use debt strategically to invest in education or starting a business, all of which can increase your net worth over time. Here is how people are using debt to improve their financial status. Debt doesn't have to be a four-letter word. When used wisely, it can be a powerful tool to enhance your financial well-being. Do you have a financial myth you want us to debunk? Leave it in the comments below. What if I told you that relying on credit cards for emergencies could be the biggest financial mistake of your life? Stick around, because today we're uncovering the hidden dangers of using credit cards as a safety net and revealing why having an emergency fund is your best bet for financial security. If you want to avoid financial traps and build a secure future, hit that like button and subscribe. Let's start with a story. Meet Sarah, a 32-year-old graphic designer. Like many of us, Sarah thought her credit cards could handle any emergency. But when her car broke down, she quickly found herself in a financial nightmare. The repair costs skyrocketed, and she maxed out her card, drowning in high-interest debt. She felt trapped and overwhelmed, not knowing how to get out of this financial mess. Sarah's story is more common than you might think. In the US, 37% of people can't cover an emergency expense with cash. And in the UK, 48% of people have less than £1,500 in savings. Let me know in the comments if you can relate to this situation. But don't just take my word for it. Here's what the experts have to say. Credit cards should never be your first line of defense in a financial emergency. This is a common viewpoint among financial advisors. An emergency fund is crucial. It's your financial safety net without the risk of debt, a common viewpoint among financial experts. Here's a rarely discussed behavior: emotional spending. When faced with emergencies, stress often leads to impulsive financial decisions. A study from the University of Cambridge shows that stress increases impulsive spending significantly. Imagine swiping that card under stress and later facing overwhelming debt. In the US, people who use credit cards for emergencies are twice as likely to end up in long-term debt. In Canada, 70% regret impulsive purchases made under stress. Shocking, isn't it? If you've ever made a purchase you regret, share your story below. So what's the solution? Start building an emergency fund today. Set aside a small amount each month. Use automatic transfers to a savings account. Even $10 a week can make a huge difference over time. In conclusion, while credit cards can provide temporary relief, they are not a substitute for an emergency fund. Build your safety net today and secure your financial future. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, just like Sarah, you can take control of your financial destiny. Share this video with friends and family to help them avoid financial pitfalls. What if I told you that earning six figures might be the fastest way to go broke? Sounds impossible, right? Welcome to Money Myths Uncovered, where we reveal the surprising truths behind common financial misconceptions. All right, here, we'll shatter another money myth. At first glance, more money seems like the ticket to financial freedom. But the reality is often much darker. In the United States, nearly 48% of households making over $100,000 per year are living paycheck to paycheck. In the UK, 33% of high-income households face financial stress. How can this be happening? The answer lies in a behavior known as lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation, or lifestyle creep, occurs when your spending increases as your income rises. You get a raise, and suddenly your old car isn't good enough, your home feels too small, and luxury becomes the norm. This subtle trap can catch even the savviest earners. Let me tell you about my friend John. He landed his dream job, doubling his salary. He bought a bigger house, a new car, and started dining at high-end restaurants. But when a medical emergency hit, he found himself with little savings and mounting debt. Despite his high income, John wasn't financially secure. He had fallen into the lifestyle inflation trap. In line with financial guru Dave Ramsey's view, the true financial security isn't about how much you earn, but how much you save and invest. Reflect on your last raise. Did your spending habits change? To break free from the pitfalls of lifestyle inflation and achieve lasting financial security, here are 3 powerful steps you can start today. First, create and stick to a budget, regardless of your income. A well-planned budget helps control spending and prioritizes saving. Secondly, build a robust emergency fund. Aim to save 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses to cover unexpected situations. Thirdly, invest wisely. Focus on creating a diverse investment portfolio. Books like The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins provide excellent guidance on smart investing. What if paying off your mortgage early is costing you more than you think? Many believe paying off a mortgage early saves on interest. While that's true to an extent, there's a bigger picture to consider. Imagine your money as soldiers in a battle. If all your soldiers fight on one front, you leave other areas vulnerable. Let's explore why diversifying your financial strategy can be more beneficial. Consider this. The average annual return on the S&P 500 over the past 30 years has been about 10%, while mortgage rates are around 3 to 4%. By investing, instead of prepaying your mortgage, your money could grow significantly more.
I'm a multimillionaire and I don't own my house and I don't invest in any property. But why? Isn't a house a great investment? Isn't buying property a great place to put your money? And surely it's better than throwing your money away on rent, right? Well, when you run the numbers, that's actually often wrong.
Here's a story about my friend John. Determined to pay off his mortgage early, John put all his extra cash into his mortgage payments. But when his daughter needed urgent medical care, he had no liquid savings and had to take on high-interest debt. This scenario, though common, is rarely discussed and highlights the risks of putting all your eggs in one basket. In the UK, 48% of households have less than £1,500 in savings, according to the Financial Conduct Authority. Similarly, in the US, nearly 32% of adults would struggle to cover a $400 emergency expense. These statistics underscore the importance of maintaining liquid savings. Let's crunch some numbers. A $200,000 mortgage at 4% interest, paid off in 15 years instead of 30, saves about $77,450 in interest. But investing the same amount in the stock market for the same period, assuming a 10% return, could grow to over $800,000. That's a massive difference. Seeing is believing. Here's a visual comparison of the two scenarios. Paying off a mortgage can bring peace of mind, but it's crucial to balance this with other financial goals. Diversifying investments and maintaining an emergency fund are key strategies for financial stability. So, what should you do? Here are practical plans. Build an emergency fund. Save 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses in an accessible account. Invest wisely. Allocate funds to retirement accounts, stocks, or other assets with higher returns than mortgage rates. Balance payments. Make regular mortgage payments, but don't prioritize early payoff at the expense of other financial goals. Visual aids always help. Here's a quick guide you can screenshot. Creating a balanced, resilient financial plan is crucial. Don't fall into the trap of thinking there's only one right way to handle your mortgage. Have any financial myths you'd like us to debunk? Leave a comment below. Let's talk money, something most of us think about daily. But what if I told you that your biggest financial roadblock might be a misconception? Stay tuned, because we're about to challenge some common money myths. What if I told you that in India, you can start with just $1.30? Stay with us, because what you're about to learn could rewrite your financial future. Meet Jane, an everyday professional who thought she needed thousands to start investing. Jane's story is far too common. 54% of people in the UK share her misconception. But here's the jaw-dropper. You don't need to be rich to start investing. In just a moment, I'll show you exactly how small investments can lead to big gains. In the US, 55% of adults think they need a lot of money to invest. Think again. Innovations like fractional shares have changed the game. Vanguard reports you can start with as little as $50. And in India, platforms like Zerodha let you begin with just 100 rupees. Now, let's talk about Tom. Tom always thought he needed a hefty sum to start investing. By age 35, he realized he missed out on nearly 15 years of potential growth. Then, he started with just $100 a month. And what happened next blew his mind. He saw his portfolio grow steadily, proving that starting small is infinitely better than not starting at all. Here's a secret. Financial procrastination is your biggest enemy. It's like putting off going to the gym. The longer you wait, the tougher it gets, and you miss out on compound growth, what Einstein called the eighth wonder of the world. Ready for the ultimate reveal. Starting today can put you miles ahead of where you'd be if you waited another year. The biggest mistake is thinking you need to be rich to invest. Consistency and starting small are the real keys to financial freedom. So, what's the game-changing solution? Start small, but start now. Use platforms like Robinhood, AJ Bells, Webull, or Acorns to invest minimal amounts. Set up automatic transfers so you're consistently building your portfolio without even thinking about it. But here's the kicker. A mind-blowing study by Fidelity found that accounts with regular small contributions outperformed those with sporadic larger ones. Surprised? Consistency is the secret sauce. For those ready to dive deeper, check out The Little Book of Common Sense Investing by John C. Bogle. Financial stress. We've all felt it. Whether you're just starting out, building a family, or nearing retirement, money worries can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that taking control of your finances isn't just for the wealthy? It's for everyone. Imagine opening your mailbox to find a bill you can't pay. What if I told you that financial freedom isn't about how much you earn, but how you plan? Let's bust another shocking myth. Did you know that a significant portion of people in Germany and Brazil live paycheck to paycheck, regardless of income? This isn't just about numbers. It's about a mindset we need to change. Why do we believe financial planning is only for the wealthy? Is it the intimidating jargon? Or the misconception that advisors are for millionaires? Today, we'll debunk this myth and show why financial planning is crucial for everyone. Think of financial planning like preparing for a marathon. You start with small steps, not on race day. Similarly, start planning your finances now, no matter your income. Here's a surprising statistic. In India, only 27% of people are financially literate. These numbers highlight a critical issue. Financial planning is often neglected, regardless of income. But what if I told you that a common behavior impacts financial lives across all income levels, and it's rarely discussed? It's the "I'll deal with it later" syndrome. Procrastination in financial planning can lead to missed opportunities, increased debt, and unnecessary stress. Let me share a story about Sarah, a close friend. She always believed she didn't need financial planning because she wasn't wealthy enough. She thought it was something she'd start once she earned more money. Fast forward a few years, Sarah faced unexpected medical expenses and found herself in financial hardship. She realized that if she had started planning earlier, even with a modest income, she could have been better prepared. I always thought financial planning was for people with more money. I didn't realize that planning could help me avoid the stress I went through. Now, I have a budget and a small emergency fund, and it feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Sarah's story is not unique. Many of us think we'll start planning later. But here's the truth. The best time to start financial planning is now, no matter your income level. Financial expert Suze Orman says, "A big part of financial freedom is having your heart and mind free from worry about the what-ifs of life." This couldn't be more accurate. Financial planning gives you control over your future, allowing you to face life's uncertainties with confidence. So, how can you start? Here are 3 simple steps. Create a budget, track your income and expenses. Pause for a moment and think about your last month's expenses. What's one thing you could cut back on to save a little more? Answer in the comments below. Build an emergency fund. Start small. Even saving a little each month can make a big difference over time. Share in the comments. What's one small expense you can cut out this month to contribute to your emergency fund? Set financial goals. Whether it's paying off debt, saving for a vacation, or planning for retirement, having clear goals can guide your financial decisions. What's one financial goal you've been putting off? Write it down now and share it with us. Financial planning isn't just for the wealthy. It's for everyone who wants to take control of their financial future, regardless of their income level. Start with small steps, and you'll see big changes over time. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Let's debunk these myths together. One step at a time, and don't forget to share your financial planning tips or stories in the comments below. See you in the next one.